Hey guys, welcome back to Transplants 2NC. I'm Amy, and today's video is part of a request from Jess at RootsandRefuge Farms. She's huge on YouTube. She's written a couple of books, and she's done a book challenge where we're supposed to share our best gardening books. In this video, I will share some of my gardening books that I reference. However, I'm going in a different direction because I have grown into herbal gardens rather than just the vegetables, as well as, guys, I'm canning now. Not just water bath canning, but pressure canning. And so I wanted to include those because at one point with my gardening, once I had nailed down what grows here well and everything, and I started getting huge yields, you have to figure out what you're going to do with those yields, whether it be drying, dehydrating, canning, freezing, or just cooking with it. So this is going to be a little bit different. It's not so much focused on gardening. I know I'm swaying from the rules. I will leave the titles and the authors of the books in the description of this video in the bottom. And if you have any books that have tremendously helped you, I would love to hear about it. So please leave that information in the comment section below. Anyways, without further ado. Okay guys, I should not complain because everywhere else is like 12 degrees, getting ready to dip into the negatives, and it is probably in the 50s, but it's windy here. So I hope you can hear me, and I hope that I don't freeze. First of all, I guess we'll put this in order, is where it all begins. Every year, I don't know if I order this or if they just send it, but this is the Rare Seeds catalog from Baker Creek. Now that is not quite as important as the other books because it's just seeds. It is gardener porn basically, but this tells you a lot about the seeds as well. Yeah guys, garden porn. So there you go. The other thing I got here, chicken. For my chicken tenders, Murray McMurray always sends out their catalog as well. Now, there are many places you can get seeds. That's another video altogether. Of course, we've got to do a plug because this whole thing was her idea, and this really is a good book. It's The First Time Gardener Growing Vegetables from Jessica Sowards. And she is from Roots and Refuge Farm. Again, this is why we're doing this. And she's not just a gardener, she is a great teacher. You can pick up so many little tidbits. She's sprinkling in information and you don't even realize you're learning. And as you can see, the photography in here is also amazing. As she used to be, or maybe she still is, obviously, a photographer. So that actually is a very good book. I bought this from Amazon. One that I've just recently picked up is this. It's the all new. I doubt it's the all new because I picked this up at a thrift store. It's the 3rd edition, Square Foot Gardening. This really doesn't apply to me at this point because I do more intensive gardening where I mix a bunch of different things tightly compacted, as tight as I can, and I like it to grow wild and look jungly, and companion planting so that each plant helps the one that is surrounding, and that's worked out really well for me. However, with this, I'm doing a new garden for a friend. We're going to set up and establish a brand new garden this year for a friend. And I did reference this in that case because I don't actually think that beginners, beginning new gardeners, should dabble into the intensive gardening where you throw everything mixed up until you understand what you can put next to what, because a lot of times you'll get a lot of cross-pollination and your yields will yield some wonky fruit and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to preserve it. You don't know how to cook it. You don't know what it is. You created a new pepper or whatever it is. So that leads me to preserving. I have two go-tos for my canning. This one is just about water bathing. So if you're beginning canning, I started with water bathing only. A lot of people are very scared actually of the pressure canning. I have gotten over that, but I do see how that could scare people away. So this one here is Water Bath Canning and Preserving Cookbook for Beginners, and that was a great book to start with. The next one up is, this has water bath canning and pressure canning. Very good recipes in it. It's by Better Homes and Garden, and I do like that it lays flat the way, and I can take a recipe out and just use that in the kitchen and then put it back in its place. But it's more of actual recipes as well as how-tos on pressure canning, water bathing, what will freeze well. It's an overall, it says canning guide, but it's a very good preserving guide in general. So, and then everybody has this one, I assume, if you're getting into canning. And the reason I'm going, I know she requested gardening books, but for me, I started to get so overwhelmed with the yield that over the last couple of years, I have learned to can, I have learned to what I can freeze, and I have had to learn what I can dry out and what I can dehydrate in the dehydrator. But I will suggest you can pick this up. I picked this up at Walmart. There's a Walmart near you, I'm sure. This is the Ball Blue Book on preserving. Again, it's kind of a how-to guide, as well as they have some good recipes in here. So you might just try some of the recipes. On a lot of the recipes when I'm canning, if it's a first time, I will usually cut everything in half, because if it turns out bad, I don't want a lot of the bad. So there's a pro tip there for you. A recent purchase for me, a friend suggested this, and it's Back to Eden. And it's basically, well, it says here, the classic guide to herbal medicine, natural foods, and home remedies since 1939. Now, I just got this. It's very small print. The pictures that they have are of this family that's involved in the making of this book, pretty much. They do have some recipes. They do go into the herbs and kind of explain why it works on certain things. This is new to me, but when I ordered it, it did have high, good, perfect reviews, and that's why I ordered it. It was like $10, and as you can see, it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. So I cannot say a whole lot about this book from personal experience yet, because it's new to me, but it was highly recommended, and I did go through it, and I think this is going to be a very informative book that I will reference. And as you guys know, I am trying to go herbal and apothecary. So I've got this book here, Food Cures. Improve your health with what you eat. I think you are what you eat. I think the reason that we have so many diseases here in America now, obesity, heart disease, cancers, a lot of that is due to the over-processed foods. And so I'm currently seeking out more books like this. And, you know, once you get into some of this, there are certain vegetables that are good for arthritis or pain relief or detoxing your system. So that is also a very good book. And the Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. Again, this is going into more herb gardening rather than just vegetable gardening, which people, if you say gardening, they think flowers or vegetables. But the herbs are a very important part of that as well. And a lot of herbs, guys, once you get your herb garden established, you would be surprised how many are either perennials or they reseed themselves. So it's almost a one and done garden with the herbs. I highly recommend you get more involved with the herbs. I'm not just saying that because that's what I'm doing personally. I'm saying that because it's good for us, guys. So there you have it. Jess, let's open up the homestead store. I will do the drive. I'm ready. Kim's ready. We're ready to do the drive and come see you. I have a book you need to sign. And if you have any hardcore, you swear by the book, please leave it in the comments section below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And remember, guys, subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. I know I get a little lackadaisical. Perhaps my editing isn't as fancy as the other people, but we're all growing together, so join me.